Hey y'all, it's Kim. So I was reading through that Virginia Roberts versus Prince Andrew, and there was a few articles in there that they mentioned. And so I went ahead and looked this one up from the New York Post that says billionaire Jeffrey Epstein, I'm a sex offender, not a predator. So what's the difference? I don't understand. Published February 25th, 2011, 5 a.m. Whatever. I mean, I know it's old, but whatever. So Jeffrey Epstein and then David McGlynn, I guess, who took the photo. So billionaire pervert Jeffrey Epstein is back in New York City and making wisecracks about his just ended jail stint for having sex with an underage girl. I'm not a sexual predator. I'm an offender, the financier told the Post yesterday. It's the difference between a murderer and a person who steals a bagel. It's like apples and oranges. That doesn't compute. Oh my gosh. Okay, said Epstein. Epstein's flippant reasoning aside, a New York judge ruled at a hearing last month that the money man is the most dangerous kind of sex offender, a level 3. That means, according to the state, Epstein is at high risk to repeat his offenses and poses a threat to public safety. Yeah, okay. But Epstein doesn't seem bothered by the designation. The crime that was supposedly committed in Florida is not a crime in New York, he said. Epstein recently returned to his $50 million East 71st Street mansion and celebrated his release from a jail or Florida jail with his close pal, Britain's Prince Andrew. Hmm. Epstein served 13 months of an 18-month sentence for soliciting a minor for prostitution. In court papers, the victim was identified as a 14-year-old girl. At one point, Epstein was facing 10 years to life on multiple counts of statutory rape, according to investigators. Court documents in that case claimed he routinely sought out girls as young as 14 and paid them $200 to $1,000 for sexual massages in his home in Palm Beach, Florida, and Manhattan. He also molested girls he had brought in from South America and Europe, and once was given three 12-year-old girls from France as a birthday gift, the documents alleged. Epstein struck a secret non prosecution deal with the feds. The government agreed to drop its probe of various sex crime allegations if Epstein caught to prostitution felonies in Florida state court. But in New York sex offender database, Epstein doesn't come up in a zip code search. He shows up only via the name search option and no New York address is listed. That's because Epstein's Upper East Side home is considered temporary. By state law, he's required to provide only his permanent address to the database, and Epstein listed his Florida home. So let's see. Here's another article. It's basically the same title, but it says Jeffrey Epstein, I'm not a sexual predator. I'm an offender. Disgraced money manager. I'm not a sexual predator. I'm an offender. Okay. Disgraced billionaire money manager and former Bill Clinton associate Jeffrey Epstein is back in New York City after 13 months of jail time for soliciting a minor for prostitution, and he appears far from repentant. In an interview with the New York Post, Epstein was breezy about the conviction. I'm not a sexual predator. I'm an offender. Did I read that wrong when I looked at this? I'm sorry. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, I'm a sex offender, not a predator. Okay, I thought I read it wrong. I guess I did. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so in an interview with the New York Post, Epstein was breezy about his conviction. I'm not a sexual predator. I'm an offender, he said. It's the difference between a murderer and a person who steals a bagel. Last month, a New York judge ruled Epstein a level 3 sex offender, the most dangerous kind. Back in July, the Daily Beast shone a light into some of the less savory aspects of Epstein's lifestyle with a detailed report of the financier sex den in Florida, which, according to police reports, displayed how he organized his life around this sexual compulsion in an open and methodical way that suggests he felt he was above the law. The details included, but were not limited to, nude images of young girls scattered around the house, genital shaped bathroom soap, and house staff who would routinely troll for fresh bodies to keep up with Epstein's schedule of 2 or 3 massage appointments each day. Ew. These are far from the only excruciatingly personal details that have surfaced about Epstein. In a deposition from September 2009, he was forced to answer the following question from the opposing counsel. It says, is it true that you have what's been described as an egg-shaped penis? Oh my gosh. I wonder what his answer was. Okay, Epstein doesn't come up in a zip code search of a New York sex offender database, the Post reports. That's because Epstein's Upper East Side home is considered temporary by state law. He's required to provide only his permanent address to the database, and Epstein listed his Florida home. Let's see what it was forced to answer. Let's see if it pulls it up. Oh my gosh. Jeffrey Epstein's sweetheart plea deal, embarrassing deposition video and transcript. Epstein's secret plea deal on his original criminal teenage prostitution charges has been unsealed, reports the Palm Beach Post. Scroll down to read the entire document. Epstein, of course, had more than enough money to spend on his legal fees. Did Epstein buy himself a sweetheart deal? And here's the Palm Beach Post. Former circuit judge Bill Berger, who represents one of the victims in the Palm Beach Post, sought the unsealing of the agreement. Berger refers to it as a sweetheart deal. Why was it so important for the government to make this deal? Berger asked rhetorically. We have not yet had honest explanation by any public official as to why it was made and why the victims were sold down the river. Former federal prosecutor Ryan McCabe described the agreement as very unorthodox. Such agreements, he said, are usually reserved for corporations, not individuals. Original Post, disgraced money manager and former Bill Clinton associate Jeffrey Epstein appeared at a rather memorable deposition earlier this month. Hat tip to City File. I guess that's, we'll see if we can pull that up. Epstein was there because he's facing a claim from a 15-year-old girl who says, among other things, that Epstein promised to pay her $200 for a massage. Epstein recently got out of jail 6 months early after receiving an 18-month sentence after pleading guilty to procuring teenage girls for prostitution. In the deposition, Epstein faces what might be the mother of all icebreakers. The opposing counsel asks, is it true that you have what's been described as an egg-shaped penis and watch the awkwardness for yourself? Where's the video? It's not on there. Dang it. I wanted to see the video. Let's see. Oh, they don't have it on here. Damn. I thought we were going to get to see it. An egg-shaped penis. What the hell? I just want to open this to see if there's anything here. I tried looking for some documents. Yeah, it's not there. 404. Yeah. The page is so lost, even our intrepid reporters can't find it. Okay. There was some series of 6 articles or something like that about Jeffrey Epstein. Anyway, I'm just like, what? It's not there. But anyway, I'll keep digging and searching for stuff. I just find this stuff kind of fascinating. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.